Okay, hey everybody, real quick. I want to talk about being intuitive, okay? Okay, so when you are intuitive, right? Like there are certain things that you feel, and there are certain things that you witness, and there are certain things that you gravitate to, and there are some information that you get that people aren't, it's not being displayed in real time, right? Okay, and what I mean by in real time, I mean physically. What people don't understand about when you have a strength of discernment, if you have a strength of intuition, right? Physically, things can look the same. Physically, things cannot change. Physically, there is a routine happening, and the routine has not broken down. Like the routine is continuous physically, right? But when you are very intuitive, no matter if the routine is the same, no matter if the routine has not been broken, no matter if nothing physically, you are experiencing anything physically, there will always be an underlining level of information that you are tapping into, right? And this underlying information is going to feel different. You're going to tap into it. You want to know why? Even though physically, like I said, even though physically things are presenting themselves physically, when you are intuitive, you have the ability to read energy. You have the ability to read what's happening in the physical. You have the ability to, even if you feel like you can't read it, you have the ability to understand, like underneath the veil, when things aren't seen, things are this particular way, right? And when things start to change underneath that veil, even though you're not really presented with the change, even though physically that change has not presented itself into your eyes as a material stand, energetically wise, you know that underneath this veil, something has changed, something is different. Okay? Okay, and since that underlying information or that information that's underneath the veil or that energy frequency has now been disturbed and changed, you now know that something is different, right? You now know that something is off. You now know what was on before is no longer on, is literally off. Like you understand this, right? But the problem with having this type of discernment and having this type of information is that we live in the physical realm. Okay? We live in the physical realm, and if it isn't physical, if it isn't present, it isn't real. If it isn't present, it isn't real. If you don't have any receipts, it ain't real. If you didn't see it happen, it did not happen. But intuitively, you know, intuitively, the receipt is the information that you have been downloading all this time, and then all of a sudden there is a different ding in the information. That is the receipt. Okay. Okay, and I want to touch on that because I know a lot of intuitive people, they tend not to judge, they tend not to trust the intuition because of physicalities, right? You tend not to trust your gift because of the materialization of things. And to all my intuitive people, a lot of times you're really intuitive, a lot of times you're really sensitive because you have to be aware of certain things. You have to be aware of this particular realm that we are in. You have to be aware of certain frequencies before those frequencies present themselves to you. Okay? And the reason why you have to be aware is because of your sensitivity. Because if you knew everything that happened to you behind your back presented itself to you in a materialized form, you will not be able to handle that. Too sensitive. That's why you can pick up shit. That's why you can feel stuff. That's why your feelings might be hurt just a little bit more than somebody else. You're sensitive, and a lot of times you believe that that sensitivity is due with trauma. That sensitivity is taught and learned because when you were a certain age, you had to kind of scheme yourself in situations so you can make sure where you stand. That you have to check the energies, wherever it's from, whatever it's from. Understand? If you feeling that ding and that ding has not left you, trust it.